This program for any significant amount of time, you're aware of President Obama's nose-diving poll numbers. But that is not the case in other media, especially in comparison or contrast to recent history. Fox News media analyst and host of Fox's Media Buzz, Howard Kurtz, takes a look.
It's hardly breaking news that President Obama has been sinking in the polls. Whether it's the NBC Wall Street Journal survey, ABC Washington Post, or CBS New York Times, most polls show more than half the country disapproving of his performance. Mr. Obama is now about as unpopular as George W. Bush was in his 6th year, when the Republicans lost control of both houses of Congress. But are these numbers getting the same level of attention? Not even close. According to the Conservative Media Research Center, in the first 8 months of 2006, the 3 network evening newscasts ran 124 reports that mentioned polling results on Bush himself or his policies.
Tonight, a new ABC News poll finds Americans' satisfaction with their president is at a 25-year low.
Bad news for the Republicans as the president's approval rating falls to a new low.
These are tough times these days at the Bush White House. The president's approval rating has hit its lowest point yet.
And in the first 8 months of this year,
confidence in the president's leadership as commander-in-chief has never been lower. A new CBS News New York Times poll found 57% of the country believes Mr. Obama has not been tough enough in dealing with ISIS.
But that was one of the exceptions. ABC, CBS, and NBC had mentioned polls involving Obama only 9 times on their evening broadcast. The networks did fewer polls during this time period, 15 instead of 23, but that hardly explains the huge disparity in citing the surveys they paid for. Of course, they may mention these polls on other news programs and on their websites, but the network evening news, with a combined audience of 20 million, remains their flagship. Polls are just snapshots, and the Republicans are even less popular than Barack Obama. It's not as though the networks are failing to portray the president as politically weak. But back when Bush was struggling, they sure seemed more interested in the numbers. Brett?